everyone, here on Sports Den. I'm Blythe Whaley, and alongside me is Matt Dean, and we're so happy to be back with you, getting to share the updates on all of our North Metro sports. But Matt, it's fun to be back here with you. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, good to see you again, Blythe. We, of course, got another exciting week in high school sports. Week 3 of high school football to recap this week. Really impressive 48 hours from Spring Lake Park volleyball with a couple of sweeps. And, of course, cat clash in the pool, a little bit of tennis. We'll sprinkle in some more here as we cover 6 different sports on this episode. We'll get right into week 3 of high school football for starters. Beginning in Class 5A with Spring Lake Park, who are in action against Park Center Thursday night. First meeting in 4 years between the Panthers and the Pirates, with SLP trying to win their second straight in a key matchup within their own section. First play from scrimmage, and the Park Center quarterback Elijah Sweet slings it down the field, picked off by sophomore Sawyer Thompson with a big takeaway on the first play of the ball game. Subsequent drive, Spring Lake Park able to take advantage of the short field. Senior Matthew Buren plunges it from 4 yards away, and it's 7-0 SLP. Early second half now, Sam Coles with a carry for the Panthers. Ball comes loose. Delvin Blitty forces the fumble on the wrap-up, and the Pirates recover. Senior Isaac Davis in at QB now for Park Center, scrambles out of the pocket from 9 yards away, scores with 9 minutes remaining in the third, and we are tied up at 7 apiece. Panthers knocking on the door still in the third. Buren pushing the pile on the left side to get it through, and SLP retakes the lead. Pirates putting together a solid drive to start the fourth. Junior Josh Diggs is digging for the end zone, 56 yards away. Oh, nice little spin move to finish it off. The Pirates would have tied it up, but missed the extra point, and it's 14-13. Pirates driving with less than 3 minutes to play. Davis steps up, connects with Ty John Brooks, a 21-yard catch as he's down at the 15. Park Center, one last chance here to try to win the game, down by 1. Davis is flushed out, steps up, fires to the end zone, and it's batted down by Thompson as the Panthers hang on in a turnover fest at SLP.
Don't let him in the end zone.
Throw him in the end zone. So what was the toughest part about playing Park Center tonight from a defensive standpoint in your unit?
They block really well, and it's hard to get off blocks and stuff, so yeah. I feel like we all went to the ball, all 11 people at the ball every single play and make the tackle together. Yeah.
We started off very, we had a lot of mental mistakes, and we started getting down on ourselves a little bit, and I think we pushed through, and we made a couple of nice drives, and that was enough. Our defense, they helped so much in this game. They saved us so well.
Now let's take a look at the Centennial Cougars as they take on the defending state champs, the Maple Grove Crimson. The Crimson getting it going early here on the offensive side. Running it into the end zone is Charles Langema for the 27-yard conversion. Crimson up by 1. Can they make it 2? Coming back again here on the left side. This time it's Henry Stang. The Crimson up 14-0. The run game was open for them. Can the pass game be open for them as well? It is. Another conversion. This time it's Bo Drahim. But the Cougars, they're going to need to get something started early. You get to see Dalen Cummings prove that not only Moses can part that Red Sea. As you saw him slip into the end zone, Marcus Whiting does as well, giving the Cougars a chance. Now down by 5, a massive interception here as the Cougars are able to rally here late in this game. Cougars running it into the end zone. Dalen Cummings, that 3-yard conversion, giving the Cougars the lead 21-20. Maple Grove going to try to be able to make that comeback. You saw Charles Langema got in. This is Marcus Whiting trying to give them that chance. But the Maple Grove Crimson don't stop, proving that they are going to put that exclamation point on this game. They got that touchdown, and now they make a big interception of their own, getting to win this game 41-28. The Cougars fought hard, but ultimately you got to see the Centennial, the Maple Grove Crimson just really show why they were that state champion last year. But taking a look at those rushing yards, both of these teams, they found it on the ground, as you saw in all of our highlights. Maple Grove, 304 rushing yards, Centennial, 242. But Cummings, 2 touchdowns, not too shabby for him, and Whiting 2 as well, but 4 from Langema. So definitely an exciting season for both of these teams ahead, just seeing a lot of names there in the stats columns.
Yeah, Centennial really good. A little bit concerning to see him give up 300 yards on the ground for a second straight week, but the Cougars, they'll get right back to it with another big matchup next week. In the meantime, for the Cougars' rivals, Blaine, they were hosting Anoka, with the Bengals licking their wounds after a Week 2 loss at Centennial 7 days prior, facing their 3rd straight section opponent to open up the year. First matchup with the Tornadoes, not too far away since 2020. Jump into second quarter action where the Bengals break the seal, the 24-yard field goal from Jared Killian, and Anoka would answer back with 2 minutes left in the half. Senior Veronica Baran, no double doink there, just enough to push it through the uprights from 20 yards away. We're tied at 3. Bengals still at the tail end of the first half, trying to get back into field goal range. Frank Daniels is picked off by Luke Alexander. It's a house call for the Tornadoes, going for 6 on a 32-yard return, and Anoka leads it 9-3 after missing the extra point going into halftime. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the third now. Peyton Padani, a beautiful throw, puts it up where only Charlie Hendrickson could get it. A 6-yard score, 15-3 after an unsuccessful 2-point conversion. Still third quarter, Daniels able to find Michael Douglas. It's all part of the game, and the Bengals are within 5. After an Anoka field goal, it was an 8-point lead cut into as Douglas, with the nose for the football, finds the end zone for the running score. Bengals go for it to tie it on 2. Daniels off the hands of Matthew Plankers, and it falls short. Anoka trying to kill the clock here, driving down the field. Affy Abikwe with a nice catch, tiptoeing along the sideline. And on the catch from Padani, it would pick up a first down. Anoka going to go and hang on to win 18-16 in this one. So tough loss for the Bengals here, who fall to 1-2 to open the season. Anoka hanging on by a pair are one of 5 remaining unbeaten teams only in Class 6A. Junior quarterback Peyton Padani with another big night for the Tornadoes. He has over 800 passing yards and 59 completions now this year. Both lead the state in Class 6A, and it sets up the Tornadoes with a big Week 4 matchup when they host the defending state champions Maple Grove, who we saw just took care of Centennial last week. But Frank Daniels, again, impressive for Blaine. Bengals only mustered 76 yards on the ground, so Daniels really keeping them in the game with that passing attack. Taking a look at the standings, our 2 6A schools on the left side in the Metro North. Anoka, as we mentioned, still unbeaten and had that huge game against Maple Grove. Centennial, after a loss to the Crimson, are in a 3-way tie for second, still with head-to-head matchups to come to Champlin, Anoka, and STMA. It sets up on the right side a huge matchup on Friday in Class 5A, rematch of the section title game between Rogers and Spring Lake Park in the Northwest Maroon Division. So you see that one coming up on Friday to your right on the Spring Lake Park schedule. 3 of their next 4 games against section opponents. Centennial, in the meantime, are in action Friday against 1-2 STMA after beating the Knights 17-6 last year. Blaine, their first 7 games of the year, all against section competition until they go to Shakopee in Week 8. Next up for them, they play host, or go on the road, rather, to 0-3 Osseo coming up next. So, man, 3 weeks into high school football, feels like we've already been jam-packed with a ton of action. And still a lot more to come on the gridiron here as high school football is really just starting to get underway.
Yeah, I always love seeing the early part of the season, what teams are going to be working on, but what teams already are coming into the year already feeling great about. So a lot to come from them, but who doesn't love more from the field, but also more from the court? Let's bump it to volleyball and see what's been happening with some of our teams out there. But this matchup between the Totino Grace and Spring Lake Park. Getting to see it, what happens here in the first set. You see Spring Lake Park able to make a big block there at the net. That was Herzog getting to have that initial moment here in our highlights. This tip goes over for the Eagles, and that's Avery Ellenberry being able to help keep the Eagles and give them a chance here in this first set. See it at the net, that point from Rita Schmidt, putting them up 25-20. This is the second set now. Panthers were able to take care of business in that first one, so getting to feel great already. But as this one goes around from the outside, tried to make it over, but Totino Grace, they are sticking with this one. That was Victoria Ashland with a massive stop for them. The Panthers able to find the spot on the court, getting up and putting it down. This helps them make it through those first 2 sets with the win. We're down to set number 3. Getting it across, the Panthers, again, working together well throughout this game. They find the spot on the court yet again. They're up 24-14, match point. This one makes it done. You see that double hit there, and
well, Addie, she's a great hitter overall. She can hit a lot of different sets, and even if I'm off, she knows how to get her feet to the ball well and get it down there.
Her sets are just like so perfect all the time, and she's just like so on. She always tells me what we're running beforehand, and that just makes the play go a lot smoother and just lets me know where I'm going in the court.
How do you kind of get into volleyball mode before the year?
Kind of just in like the summer preseason stuff, but before like off season, I just kind of just play around for fun. Nothing like official really, though.
We work a lot in practice on defense and serve receive, and I think that's really helped our like first contacts, which helps Bree get really good sets to us, and that allows us to score points. And we work together a lot on communication, and it just blends all together. That, yeah.
Kind of just keeping our heads up. We got a lot of seniors on the team, so just enjoying the moment while we all have together and just playing together. Yeah.
as we're able to take a look at the volleyball schedules, getting to see a couple of our teams. You saw Blaine and Centennial with that loss there. Going to try to get back to those winning ways as they take on Maple Grove, as well as Centennial taking on Osseo on the road. But Spring Lake Park trying to continue their winning ways as they'll look to take on Park Center on the road there, and as well as Hopkins. So busy time for all of our teams here in the coming days.
Couple games of Monday night action. You had 18th, right? That's today?
Yeah.
I never know what day
I know,
it is, so you
right?
got to double check that. But for the date challenge, those are a couple of teams, Blaine and Centennial, in action tonight. Blaine looking for their first conference win. Centennial getting into a stretch where 5 of their next 6 are against the Northwest Suburban Conference. So, yeah, fun one. It was fun doing volleyball the other night. That was 2 sweeps in a row for Spring Lake Park to kind of get off the schneid. So first 2 wins of the season. Less than 48 hours, you win all 6 sets you play. That's a pretty good 2-day span for Joy Johnston and the Panthers. We promised you some swimming, so we've got action in the pool, starting with a cat clash where Centennial and Blaine were facing off. Some cats are about to get wet. It's the Bengals and the Cougars splashing around in the pool, where we will start in this one from Northdale Middle School in Coon Rapids in the 200-yard medley relay with the Blaine team of Gabby Bush, Sydney Edwards, Nevia Miller, and Callie Stark finished 4 seconds ahead of the Cougar team, just under 2 minutes, their final time. In the 200-yard free, Blaine Jr. Nevia Miller would finish first. Reese Forrest edged Arabella Layton for second by just 0.4 of a second. In the 200-yard individual medley, Lana Ryan, a sophomore from Blaine, finishes at 2:22. In the 50-yard freestyle, Callie of the House Stark, Queen of the Bengals, 24:91 her time. That's good enough to qualify for state in nearly 3 seconds ahead of the second place time. Into the diving competition where the Cougars would shine. How about Ava Garretts, a junior for Centennial, who breaks a 9-year pool record with her final score in the diving competition. Catherine Woeful, a junior, and Mia Burkvet, a senior, finished second and third, with all Cougars in the top 3 spots in the diving competition in this one for Centennial. Back to the normal events, 100-yard butterfly. Amelissa Pollock, a senior from Blaine, runs away from the pack to finish first. Lily Clark of Blaine, Savannah Nipping from Centennial in the second and third spots. In the 100-yard free, it's Callie Stark again. She won the 50 free. She takes the 100, just a second off the state qualifying time in the 100-yard free that time. In the 500-yard freestyle, that was Sydney Edwards, just the tail end of a very long swim, the 7th grader for Blaine, winning it in the long distance event. In the 200-yard free relay, Blaine's team of Penoyer, Forrest, Layton, and Edwards turn in the top time in that event for the Bengals. And then we went to the back in the 100-yard backstroke. Sophia Wynn, an 8th grader from Centennial. Wynn for the win in 1 minute and 2 seconds and change to take it for the Cougars. On to the breaststroke. Abigail Stang, senior for the Cougars, comes out on top in this one. And then our final event of the evening was the 400-yard freestyle relay. The team won by Centennial, who took it in the final event. Blaine wins over their rivals.
This year we're really focusing on building team community and bringing all the girls together, bonding and doing fun things so that we can all enjoy our pretty brutal sport and just have fun together, make it a good season.
I really take it one dive at a time, because even if you have a bad dive, you can't think about that anymore. You really got to focus on the next one. Practices, we honestly try and have as much fun as we can because we dive better when we're having fun. Practices are pretty fun. We keep it upbeat even when we don't really want to do our dives. So fun and upbeat, just think about your dives that you're doing heading forward and don't focus on the past.
I like seeing the other teams, and sometimes girls have friends from the other teams and we all get together and have an early Saturday morning. Try not to cry too much about it.
Yes. I love, like Ani said, I love seeing the other teammates. I love seeing my friends on the other teams, and I'm partial to the naps I take after, because those are really good.
Yeah, so especially tonight, there was a lot of emotions, a lot of people going through some tough times now that school has started, and we've been doing like morning practices, so it's kind of been rough. So a lot of it is just mental encouragement, making sure that our team is like really excited and getting ready and not feeling all that pressure.
Well, the coaches always talk to us, and in the locker room, we hype everyone up and try to get them prepared, get them ready. And we always try to calm their nerves, because there's always a bunch of nerves before they go out. And we always, on Mondays, our coach does a lot of talking about how to prepare yourself and how to deal with the nerves and kind of things like that to get ready for a meet.
I really like being at the U of M pool. It's a fast pool. It's a pool where a lot of amazing swimmers have swam at before, and just getting that kind of environment going really helps you get a good time, get a good race going.
So without a meet for a week, Ashley, what are some things that you guys will do practice-wise to make sure that you're ready to go for next Thursday?
So usually what we do is Tuesdays and Thursdays and even Saturdays, we really work on sprinting, because those are the days that we have meets usually, so we really work on that. And I think throughout the week we're going to work on details and working on just the little stuff, so that when we get to a meet that it just all falls into place and we can do what we do.
We already got to see the Bengals in the pool once, but let's see them again, this time taking on Green Rapids for the 200-yard medley relay. Of course, a lot of athletes getting in the pool, a lot of good turnouts. The Bengals able to touch the wall there. Now the 200-yard freestyle, another difficult one. Getting to see some good turnouts for the Blaine Bengals in both of those races. The 200-yard individual medley, this one, you got to see the Bengals going 1, 2, 3. The 50-yard freestyle, this one a bit shorter, so these ladies able to pick up that speed. But it's fun, you get to see, of course, a couple dives from our team, the Bengals, here as they head into the pool. That's Lund. We're talking about how she has increased her difficulty this season and been able to help her have some great performances in that diving well. But the Bengals now, the 100-yard butterfly. You see how much effort you got to put in to be able to win this one as the Bengals touch the wall. 100-yard freestyle. I love how close this one was. See a lot of these swimmers all in a line trying to be that one to find that winning time. But the 500-yard freestyle, this one, of course, that longer one is going to take a lot more endurance, but the Bengals, they have it. Another strong year for them. Always fun getting to see that impressive dominance that the Bengals have had throughout their seasons. But the 200-yard freestyle relay followed up by the 100-yard backstroke. The Grand Rapids Cardinals in good position there. The 100-yard breaststroke, this one takes a lot of effort popping up out of the water between each stroke, but the 400-yard freestyle relay, this one gets loud, this one gets exciting. You get to hear all the crowd cheering this one on, usually at that finale of an event. But of course, getting to see the Bengals in the pool yet again is just another highlight. We don't always get to have swimming here on Sports Den, but we are so glad we were able to bring it to you. We didn't have those official results, but make sure you're checking it out because they will be posted here shortly to see those final times, which who doesn't love to kind of get to check whether it's a personal record for individuals, but also just maybe, some of those pool records. You never know.
Yeah, we're getting down to that time, starting to reach your peak in swimming, and we're well into the tennis season as well, too. So we covered football, we gave you some volleyball action, but let's get to the court where we had a Coon Rapids versus Centennial matchup. This came on Thursday at Coon Rapids House, so footage courtesy of CTN out in Coon Rapids. This is the top singles matchup. Lauren Klein of Centennial facing off against Gabby Newton on the other side for Coon Rapids. Two red teams, so you got to keep track here, but the nice green racket from Lauren Klein here. She's able to slap that one out of bounds here, and the point goes to Newton, who's wearing the black visor. Good return here from Klein, a little drop shot, and the return just too deep as she was able to back up Newton. So Klein taking control early. She took the first set, and working here from up top is Klein. Beautiful drop shot, just died on Newton as Klein continued to take advantage here and assert herself in the second set. She lets that one on the take go wide, and Lauren Klein wins it over Gabby Newton in 2 sets in the best of 3. On to the doubles matchup, Ellie Fenstermacher and Sophie Wynn, the pairing for Centennial. You'll see them at the top of your screen in this red v red matchup, taking on Macy Ruddy and Adrian Hayton of the Coon Rapids Cardinals, their top doubles pairing. And this would be Sophie Wynn working it from that back line. Nice little short shot, and then right into Fenstermacher's breadbasket, and she's able to see that return sail over her deep. And Centennial took the opening set here, trying to go for the sweep in 3. Cougars still working to the top of your screen. Fenstermacher just in a 1v1 battle with one of the Cardinals, and that long rally would end up being won by the Cards. In this double sequence, Fenstermacher with the ace serve, and it ends up being the Cougars in 2, winning it in both the top doubles and the top singles matchup in this one. That's Blythe Whaley. I'm Matt Dean. Want to thank our terrific crew led by Ted LaRue, Ab Becker, Joe Hoyley, John Chenard with you. And it was a fun one on the Sports Den. Not every sport like we did last week, but we got through 5, and we'll have plenty of action coming up for you next week.
Yeah, of course. Make sure you're sticking around.
That's Blythe. I'm Matt from Ted LaRue and our great North Metro TV crew. We'll be back for another one, episode 5, coming your way next week here on Sports Den.